Evolution major multiple choice. First name, last name. Number 1. Fossilized dinosaur eggs have been found in the third of 5 rock layers during a fossil dig. Based on the law of superposition, which best represents the age of the eggs? The eggs are older than all of the rock layers. The eggs are younger than all of the rock layers. The eggs are about the same age as the third rock layer. The eggs are about the same age as the 5th rock layer. The geological map below shows several rock formations exposed when a road is cut through a hillside. Which formation in this geological map is youngest? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Number 3. The geological map below shows several rock formations exposed when a road is cut through a hillside. Which formation in this geological map is oldest? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Number 4. Which is used to find the relative age of a rock? Composition of rock layers, position of rock layers, looking at the color, measuring uranium. Number 5. Scientists find dinosaur fossils in the bottom rock layer of a cliff and mammal fossils in the middle rock layer of the cliff. Which could best be concluded from this evidence? Dinosaurs ate plants. Dinosaurs were eaten by mammals. Dinosaurs lived on the earth before the mammals. Dinosaurs and mammals lived at the same time. Number 6. Studies of snail fossils in Egypt indicate that areas of Egypt that are now desert were once thriving savannas approximately 130,000 years ago. What does the presence of these fossils indicate about the area of Egypt that was thriving 130,000 years ago? There was more humidity in the air. There were fewer nutrients in the soil. There was more snowfall in the region. There was less solar radiation in the region. Number 7. A sedimentary rock found in a hillside is identified as sandstone. Which can most likely be concluded about the hillside? The hillside was once a volcano. The region was once covered with water. There were no living organisms that ever lived near the hillside. Heat and pressure inside the earth helped form the rock layers of the region. Number 8. How does this statement support the theory that an asteroid impacted the Earth about 65 million years ago? The KT boundary is the geological stratum that separates the Cretaceous period, which ended 65 million years ago with the extinction of the dinosaur, from the Tertiary period. A student reads the following statement. Despite the fact that uridium is much less abundant on Earth than gold, clay located at the KT boundary contains at least twice as much uridium as gold. So how does this statement support the theory that an asteroid impacted the Earth about 65 million years ago? By supporting the hypothesis that an asteroid impact would change Earth's climate. By providing evidence that uridium was toxic to the species on Earth at the time. By providing evidence that uridium came from a source outside the Earth system. By supporting the hypothesis that an asteroid impact would alter Earth's landmass. Number 9. Who developed the theory of evolution that is still studied today? James Hutton, Charles Darwin, Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, Albert Einstein. Number 10. A body part previously used by an ancestor but now has no apparent purpose or function is a or an vestigial organ, homologous structure, adaptation, variation. Again, vestigial organ, homologous structure, adaptation, or variation. Number 11. The process by which different kinds of living things have changed over long periods of time is called sedimentation, replacement, deposition, evolution. Number 12. A species is a group of similar organisms that can mate with each other and produce fertile offspring, can migrate to an island from the mainland, can live together on an island, all have exactly the same traits. 13. Differences in traits between members of the same species are called predators, selections, adaptations, variations. Number 14. People select traits they want in plant and animal offspring by breeding parents that had those traits. This is called artificial selection, natural selection, embryology, or evolution. Number 15. Which term refers to similar structures that related species have inherited from a common ancestor? DNA sequences, developmental organisms, homologous structures, vestigial structures. Number 16. Which term refers to a species that no longer has any living members? Molded, fossilized, extinct, petrified. Number 17. How does natural selection lead to evolution? Stronger offspring kill weaker members of the species. Helpful variations accumulate among surviving members of the species. Overproduction provides food for stronger members of the species. Environmental changes favor weaker members of the species. Number 18. Observations on the similarities in the early development of organisms is a result of paleontology, biology, geology, or embryology. Number 19. What did Darwin observe about finches in the Galapagos Islands? Their feathers were adapted to match their environment. Their beaks were adaptations related to food the finches ate. They had identical phenotypes in all locations. They had identical genotypes in all locations. Number 20. A trait that helps an organism survive and reproduce is called a or an mutation, a selection, an adaptation, or a variation. Number 21. Which term refers to a species creating more offspring than can possibly survive? Natural selection, overproduction, evolution, or variation. Number 22. What is a fossil? Any dead organism? The preserved remains or traces of an organism? A perfect copy of a rock? An unusual type of rock. 23. The fossils of organisms that were widely distributed but only lived during a short period of time are called trace fossils, petrified fossils, index fossils, or carbon film fossils. Number 24. Why do scientists drill out ice cores? To study the outer core of the Earth, to find fossils, to date rock layers, to reconstruct Earth's climate history. Number 25. The Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic are divisions in the geological timescale called eons, periods, epochs, eras. Number 26. Which statement is most accurate about the organisms in the table? They share analogous structures. They share homologous structures. Organisms 1 and 3 have the same habitats. Organisms 2 and 3 share the same food. Number 27. In the process of blank, the organisms that are best suited to their environments are most likely to survive and reproduce. Species, natural selection, punctuated equilibrium, variation. Number 28. Variation is affected by blank, or changes in an organism's genes that will cause a change in traits. DNA, adaptation, mutations, genetics. Number 29. Blank occurs when a new species evolves from an existing species. Speciation, natural selection, variation, adaptation. Number 30. Most fossils occur in blank rock: igneous, metamorphic, sedimentary, volcanic.